Okay, today we're diving into a crypto project that's putting up numbers that are, well, they're so wild they almost don't seem real. It's called Hyperliquid, and it's making everybody ask one simple question. Is this thing a truly revolutionary engine for the future of finance, or is it just a massive hyperbubble that's about to pop? So let me just start with a question that's going to sound a little crazy. What if I told you there's a new crypto project out there that on any given day could generate 10 times the fees of Bitcoin? I mean, that sounds impossible, right? Well, let's just look at the data.
So, yeah, that wasn't just some crazy hypothetical. On a good day, Hyperliquid is pulling in sometimes $5 million in platform fees. That just absolutely smokes giants like Ethereum and even Bitcoin. It's an unbelievable money-making machine. Which, of course, leads to the next big question. What is this thing?
To really get it, we've got to break down what Hyperliquid is all about. We're going to look at the person who started it all, the tech that makes it run so fast, and the core mission behind the whole project. Okay, so at its heart, Hyperliquid is what's called a decentralized perpetual futures exchange, or a perp DEX. Look, all that really means is it's a place where you can bet on the future price of crypto assets, but without a big central company like FTX holding all the money. In fact, that's the whole point. It was built from the ground up to be a transparent, trustless alternative right after the FTX collapse, to try and make sure something like that could never happen again. The brains behind the operation is a guy named Jeff Yan. His background is pretty serious, Harvard grad in math and computer science, and he used to be a high-frequency trader. But here's the really interesting part, what makes his approach so different. He bootstrapped the entire project himself. He actually turned down all venture capital money. Why? Because he wanted to put ownership in the hands of the users, not some big-shot investors who might just dump their tokens on the market later on. Now, to handle all the crazy demands of high-frequency trading, Jeff and his small team built their own blockchain from scratch. And it is unbelievably fast. We're talking 200,000 transactions per second. I mean, just to put that in perspective for you, Ethereum handles about 15. So that speed, that's the secret sauce. It's what allows for nearly instant trades with almost zero fees. Okay, so it's fast and it's generating these insane fees. But how does that actually create value for its token, which is called Hype? Well, the answer is in its core economic model, this incredibly powerful deflationary engine. So this engine, it works like a really simple but powerful flywheel. First, the platform makes millions of dollars from all the trading fees. Simple enough. Then, it takes a huge chunk of that cash, we're talking 30 to 50%, and uses it to buy its own Hype tokens right off the open market. And then those tokens that it just bought, they're basically taken out of circulation for good. This reduces the total supply, right? So less supply means more scarcity. And in theory, that should make the tokens that are left even more valuable.
So what does all that constant buying pressure actually do to the price? Well, some people have run the numbers, and based on the platform's revenue, they calculate that even if Hype is trading for around, say, $46, the buybacks alone actually justify a price closer to $62. That suggests the token might be trading at a pretty big discount, maybe 25%. But, and this is a really, really big but, there is a massive catch. And here it is. This is the catch. This whole beautiful deflationary model, this potential discount, it all depends on one single thing: massive, non-stop trading volume. You have to remember this quote: if the volume evaporates tomorrow, all this goes out the window. The whole thing just falls apart.
Right. So for that volume to stick around and hopefully even grow, the platform needs more and more users. And for a long, long time, there was this one major roadblock. So let's look at what was holding it back and the one key development that completely changed the game. The old way of getting your hands on Hype and actually using it was, to be honest, a total nightmare unless you were already a crypto expert. It was just so clunky and complicated. You had to mess around with these complex bridges. You needed multiple wallets, like MetaMask, talking to each other. The whole process was just not friendly for a normal person. And that was a huge wall, a massive barrier to getting more people on board. And then the game changer happened. Hyperliquid announced a partnership with Phantom, which is one of the biggest and most popular wallets in all of crypto. And just like that, boom,
Trading on Hyperliquid became totally seamless. You could do it in just a few taps, right inside the wallet you already use. This single move unlocked a potential audience of 15 to 20 million new users. It completely changed the growth story overnight. So we have this powerful engine, right? And this major catalyst for growth. But it can't all be sunshine and roses. To give you the full picture, we have to flip the coin over and look at the other side, the real risks and the potential red flags. The biggest, heaviest question hanging over this whole project is about centralization. For a project that was born from the ashes of FTX with a mission to be trustless, how decentralized is it really?
One analyst, Justin Bonds, he really laid it out there. He said, Hype admin can steal $3 billion plus, i.e., they control the keys. Now, to be fair, a lot of other big crypto projects have a similar kind of setup. But for a platform whose entire identity is built on being trustless, it's a huge risk to keep in mind. At the end of the day, ultimate control still sits with a very, very small team. And the risks definitely don't stop there. The competition is absolutely fierce, especially from giants like Jupiter over on Solana. The Hype token still isn't available on major exchanges like Coinbase, and tons of potential users are geo-blocked. They can't even access it. And of course, underlying everything is that one single massive risk. The entire model only works if the trading volume stays at these totally bonkers levels.
Oh, and a really quick but important warning for you. Whenever a story gets this hot, the opportunists come out of the woodwork. You're starting to see these zombie companies, failing businesses with zero revenue, suddenly rebranding or announcing they plan to buy Hype just to pump their own stock price. So please be careful not to confuse these copycats with the actual Hyperliquid project. So where does that leave us? What is Hyperliquid? On one hand, you could say it's a revolutionary engine. It's founder-led, it's lightning fast, it's generating real massive revenue, and it just got supercharged by a game-changing partnership. But on the other hand, it could be a ticking time bomb, a bubble built on shaky, volatile trading volume and centralized keys. The numbers are real, no doubt, but the risks? They're just as real. So I'll leave you with the same question we started with. Is this the future of finance, or is it a hyper bubble just waiting for a pin? That is the billion-dollar question.